Let's get it. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. See, I have more power than I've ever seen, 'cause I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. Family, I just can't get this out of my head today. It's just like a sister said on our call the other night. It's like the Most High speaks through you, through your whole entire being. This is what this song is doing today to me. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. See, I have more power than I've ever seen, 'cause I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. Well, learning to lean. I'm learning to lean. I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. See, I have more power than I've ever seen. I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. I'm learning to lean on Yahushua. Hallelujah. Learning to lean on Yahushua. See, when we sung them old hymns back in the days in church, I had no clue. I ain't gonna lie, we got a little stirred up now, because the Ruach was in them songs and trying to teach us how to lean on him and depend on him and how to praise him and not each other. So I was just thinking, the Most High just changed up my thought for today. I was just thinking that the Most High don't owe us nothing. And I was thinking, like I said, about the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, and how people act as if he's just the one that comes alongside to help you shake a leg. Or should I say show out? I say, oh boy, no. He comes along to empower you to prosper in that word. Like the text says, he leads you into all truth. He leads us into all truth. So in that leading us into all truth, he's going to also come alongside to help and empower us to walk it out. But it's not to show out. And you can say it is to show out, but not in the way folks think as far as dancing. It's to show out in keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. See, that's how he come alongside to help. He'll come alongside and help say, don't do that. That's not for you. That's not for you. What did the word say? And see, you'll have to walk out that word. He'll empower you to, unless you're going to say, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to back up off you. So that's when he's going to start backing off him, like the text says, don't quench his spirit, which means to put out the fire, which means to slow down his movement in your life, in your spirit, in your ruach. Because if you tell me no, I'm going to be the first one to say, okay, no problem. I got you. No problem. We'll get with you. But that was just in my heart real heavy, because I'm learning in all actuality to lean on the Most High myself fully, and in every sense of that word fully. I mean, all praises to the Most High. But the idea of the day is, don't nobody owe you nothing, especially the Most High. But what I was thinking of was Yahushua. He said, follow me. He said, take up your cross and follow me, or take up your stake and follow me. That means come and do what I did. That don't mean you get a pass, a way out of it, a way not to do what I did. I'm showing you how to do it. I'm empowering you to do it and showing you how to do it through the Ruach HaKodesh. The same way I did it. See, that Ruach is what empowered Yahushua to do what he did. See, the Ruach HaKodesh came alongside to help him in all manners of the word fully. Just like when he said, is there any other way? In an instant, he said, but not thy will, not my will, but your will be done. See, that was the Ruach in him, standing up in him, saying, no, we came this too far, and we got to do what we got to do. That's just like following the law, statutes, and commandments. You hear folks making all kinds of excuses not to follow the Most High's plans for our lives, but they'll get up in church real quick and shout. And that's the extent of the Ruach's power in their lives. That's the extent of his power showing out in their lives. That's their way of showing out only. But that's what the Most High was impressing in my spirit. He was like, the way to show out is walking out these commands daily. That's how the Ruach shows out in your life, not when you stomping up dust. But we're heading out to the park and we're going to really get on this thought, Most High willing. But I just want to keep that in our minds today. Don't nobody owe you nothing. The Most High don't owe you to save your soul. He don't owe you to bless you, to give you this and that and the other. That's what he was telling me. See, I done did all I'm going to do. Well, I done did what I said I was going to do. Of course, he does other things in our lives, but it's already preset. All we need to do is just walk it out. Just as me and my wife was talking, I was like, and we said this on the call, the Most High, his word is the roadmap for our lives. All we need to do is walk it out. But we need to check the roadmap daily, because we're not going to use the same roadmap all the time. There's going to be a roadmap for us to follow. Say if we're in another city, we need to change up the roadmap. Just like with the GPS, we need to change the GPS so we can walk or follow that path in detail for that day. Just like if we're going, just like with my jobs, if I'm going across town, I need to switch up my my navigational system. Just because it's saying Charlotte, North Carolina, don't mean it's going to give me a detailed map to where I'm going that day. But it was just us speaking on that daily word, and how important it is to get in tune with the Most High daily. Because like I say, he don't owe us nothing. And see, in that Christianity lifestyle, we have been taught that the Most High, pardon my French, he's like our hope, and we're his pimp. We tell him to move, and he's supposed to jump and move on our command. Do what I told you, when I say do it, and just like we say, money coming to me now. Okay. Do you deserve it? We want to command the Most High. We like that part of the word, command you me, but we don't want to command ourselves and be obedient. See, just like the Most High has reminded me a few months ago, he ain't gonna bless no mess. The Most High ain't gonna bless no mess. And yes, I said ain't. He ain't gonna bless no mess, including yours. See, we like to use this idea that we're so special However, we're not special, too special enough for the Most High to send our butts to hell. And it's the truth. Yep, it's the truth. He will send us straight to hell. And will be a little upset about it because he loves us. But he's not going to grieve to the point where he's not going to think about all them opportunities he gave you. Ooh, and that's the other word. That's what I was thinking about. And I heard a brother remind me of that fact, that life is an opportunity. It's a gift. And that we are chosen to be, to hear the Most High's voice. See, everybody don't hear him. And I hate to say that because, well, no, everybody don't hear him. But he gives everybody an opportunity. And I can't even say that. He gives most folks the opportunity for salvation. But most don't want it. And of course I'm talking about our people, the ones that need saving. Everybody don't need saving. Most folks are already in their heaven right now. Walk away. Be like, appreciate it, see you later, see you when I need you again. And he's sitting there like, what? Really? I just wanted you. I did all I had to because of your stiff neck and your parents and your forefathers stiff neck and hard head. But you would have none of it. Just like the text says, Yahushua said, I would have gathered you like chicks. Like a mother hen gathers her chicks, but you will have none of it. That means we didn't want the help. We didn't want him. See, we didn't want his loving wings of protection, his loving arm of provision. As a matter of fact, that's all we want, his loving arm of provision. Like I said in a prior recording, we want to be codependent when we need his stuff, but we want to be independent when we don't need him, when we think we don't need his stuff, and we don't think we need him. And it was the second part, to let this mind be in you. Think like this. And it's right along the lines of the first thought, which was Yahushua, thinking the thoughts that the Ruach gave him about his life, what he was supposed to walk out. But today we're going to talk about Joshua, another great man of the Most High, who had to do the same thing. He had to take the Most High's word, plan, will, Torah for his life in order to walk out the mission for his life. We're going to look at Joshua 1 and 8. We're going to read from 1 to 8 in Joshua 1. The Most High's commission to Joshua. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Most High, it came to pass that the Most High spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. And see, that's where we find ourselves a lot of times, in situations that are dead, but the Most High needs for another individual to step up and fill that void. But like my Moray was telling me, he was like, a lot of times we'd rather get behind and follow instead of jumping up in front and saying, I'll go, send me, I'll go. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you, as I said to Moses, from the wilderness to this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea towards the going down of the sun shall be your territory. no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I am, or so I will be with you. And I read that all the time, so I always say, so he is with me, or so I am with you. I keep it in the present tense with myself. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage. For to this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous. Pardon me. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law. I'll read that one again. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed. For the Most High your Elohim is with you wherever you go. Powerful. And I have only one more script I'm going to read. And it was after Joshua had taken command and the lead over Israel that they was in a battle, or they was facing a battle. Matter of fact, we're going to read it, and this is Joshua 10, and the title is The Sun Stands Still. Now it came to pass when Adonai-Zedek, or Zedek, king of Jerusalem, heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and its king, so he had done to Ai and his king. And now the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel, and were among them that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, like one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all its men were mighty. So basically what this is saying, that Adonai-Zedek, or Zedek, the king of Jerusalem, he went on and called together a few other kings to help him fight against the children of Israel. He called Hoham, king of Hebron, Piram, the king of Jarmuth, Japhia, the king of Lashish, and Debir, king of Eglon, saying, Come up to me and help me, that we may attack Gibeon, for it has made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. So what they decided to do was to attack Gibeon, who had perpetrated a fraud. See, Gibeon were the group of people that act as if they was coming from a long journey to meet with Joshua and his folks. They came with old stale bread, with old holey shoes and ragged clothes, as if they had, like I said, come on a long journey, as if to meet with the children of Israel. But they was right in the neighborhood. They just didn't want to get that hind part. They didn't want to get killed, because basically the Most High told Joshua to destroy all the inhabitants of the land. And Pardon me for the distraction. The Most High knows it was all I can do was to keep my mind on this text. That young lady was over here all stretched out on the table, laid out. I said, I'm not gonna move, I'm gonna stay concentrated on this text. But it was definitely a test. It was old Hasatan trying, but no, we one way with this thing. We gotta stay one way. And I shared that. I know I didn't have to share that, but just to let you know about them distractions that we just spoke on last week. They real. They real. And just because we're not speaking on them today don't mean they're not gonna keep coming at us. We spoke on that last week for this week. Because, oh boy, that was a distraction. She done went and took off all of her uniform right there at the table, pranced over to her car and put them up, came back and laid out on the table. Right when we was talking about our prior thought about we want to treat the Most High like he a hoe, and we're his, or a prostitute, and we're his pimp. The exact same time. And you would know it was one of our daughters of Zion. But I kept on with that text, and the next thing you know, she got up and went and got a book. I can't say it was the Bible, but I want to say it was the Bible. She went and got the book and was reading the Bible as I was reading it. I don't know if she picked up on Joshua 1 like we was reading at that time, but I kept on with our study, and all praises to the Most High that she heard the text, she heard the word. But we have to be strong in our calling, just like we just read in Joshua. See, the Most High told him just then in three sentences: be strong and very courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Didn't I tell you to be strong and very courageous? Why would he tell him that? Why would he nail that idea home like that? I'm asking you. Why would he do that? Just like last week. Thank you, Father. Why would the Most High give us a thought for the entire week about distraction training? Why would he do that? Just for happenstance, or just, what's the word? It was just a coincidence. No, he foresaw that we was gonna have to go through this fire. He foresaw that girl sitting over there on that table, and she's right there. As I'm looking at the camera here, she's right there. So everything I'm looking in the camera, I see everything out of my peripheral, you might say. But see, my heart is here. Hallelujah. And I kept hearing him say, don't stop, don't stop. Matter of fact, speak up. Don't stop. And but yeah, he told Joshua this because Joshua was gonna need that power. Pardon me. And he told Joshua to stay in that text. He said, stay in that word that I commanded Moses. Stay in that Torah. Stay in it. Keep them commands and make sure your peoples are following that command. See, that's why Joshua jumped up and said, choose you this day whom you will serve. What a powerful text, and pardon me, I get a little excited sometimes and we say hallelujah. Yeah, because he knew we was gonna need these things down the line. That's why he told Joshua. See, the Most High, he just reminded me, his word don't come back void. See, he trained me last week for this situation today and what we're studying now. Let this mind be in you. See, the Most High, well, I meant Yahusha, Most High, same person, same individual rather. He knew that we would need this word. That's why he had Paul to write it like he wrote it. Let this mind be in you that was also in Yahushua HaMashiach, who didn't think it was robbery to consider himself equal with the Most High. So what does that mean for us? Pardon me. Equal in form, but not authority. See, we have the same, we're made in the image and likeness of the Most High. Like it said in the text, that's Philippians 2:5-11. It says, let this mind be in you, which was also in HaMashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High. See, that form means he was made as a spirit. The form of the Most High is what we are made out of. We are made of a spirit, part of him. We are a part of him spiritually, or ruachally. And it goes on to say, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant. So he was found in the form of the Most High as a spirit, but he made no reputation of himself as God, because he is the Most High. He is God. They're one. Just like the text says, there's only one Elohim, or I am the Lord your God, and I am one. That's how the text is written, the King James. However, this is the example he wants us to follow. Yes, we're made in his form also, in his likeness also, but made himself of no reputation. So that's how we should be. Every other sentence should be all praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. To the Most High be the glory. But if you're still saying God, to God be the glory. If you're still saying Jesus deserves the glory. But as we're saying today, he didn't deserve to pay it all alone. Like the song goes, must Yahushua pay the price alone and the whole world go free? No, there's a price for everybody. Well, it says there's a cross, but we'll say there's a price for everybody, even you and me. But being found in the fashion of a man, he humbled himself and became obedient. See, this is the whole entirety of this thought. Just do what I tell you to do. Just do what I tell you to do. Simple and plain. Let this mind be in you. Like I said, I saw an aunt. He put out a post that said, do you want to be served more than you want to serve? I know it won't like that, but it said, are you here to be served, or are you here to serve? We'll leave it like that. It was something like that. But see, this is the total idea right here in a nutshell. He said, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant. Like another text says, if you desire to be great in the kingdom, you must humble yourself to be the greatest servant, in my own words. And we'll put that script in the recording as we go. But then it goes on to say, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient. unto death, even the death of the stake. Pretty much one of the worst deaths there were back in that time. But this is the glory he gained from that. It says, wherefore the Most High also highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahusha every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahusha HaMashiach is Adonai, to the glory of Yahuwah the Abba, or God the Father. Hallelujah. And we might as well go on to read Hebrews 12:2, which was from part 1, just to refresh ourselves. It says, we do this by keeping our eyes on Yahusha, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. One text says, who is the author and finisher of our faith, but I like this text. It says, who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the stake, disregarding his shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside Yahuwah's throne. But this is why he did what he did, because of the joy awaiting him. But let's get back to Joshua. Pardon me. And another great man of valor for the Most High. And as I was saying, the chips were stacked against Joshua and Israel in our natural way of seeing things. But see, when all these gathering of armies was going on, I'm sure Joshua was like we are. We somewhere quiet, getting in on our studies. And see, to be quite honest and transparent, it's been this way for me pretty much the whole last year, if not a little longer. I'll tell a quick testimony. See, after I suffered that stroke, which the Most High forewarned me, he said, Robert, you're about to go through something that's really going to shake your faith. But no matter what you see, don't take your eyes off me. Just like that young lady over there prancing and flaunting herself out in the public like she was doing. He was like, don't take your eyes off me. I never leave you or forsake you. So 2 months later, well, he also had me to prepare my wife, telling her that same thing, to the point where she was like, I know, Robert. He'll never leave us or forsake us. We're about to go through something that's really going to shake our place. Like, blah, blah, blah. What's next? I was like, okay, you got it. And it's pretty much a few days after that, I had that major stroke, which was like 2 months after the Most High warned me of it. I had that major stroke. Had to go through a brain procedure to remove blood clots, because blood clots were shot out all over my body. And, pardon me, I had to have a brain surgery, which I call a surgery, my wife calls a procedure. I say anytime they put me to sleep was a surgery, and anytime they had to cut on me was a surgery. Because what they did, they went in through my inner thigh into that main artery in that part of my body, came all the way up and through my heart, on up through into my neck, and into my brain stem, up into my brain. They located the blood clot with a little camera at the end of that probe that they went in with, shot it out with what I call a squirt gun, and then sucked it out with a little vacuum, and that was that procedure. Then 2 days later, they noticed that my heart was beating irregularly, pardon me, we're still working on getting these words pronounced right. My heart was beating off. So they took and did some tests. Little lizard. They took and did some tests and saw that I had a defective heart valve. So they did an open heart surgery and put in a mechanical heart valve. So after that, they still saw that I had some issues with blood clots in my leg, and they did 3 major surgeries to get the blood clots out of my leg, which one took 6 hours alone. And that's a long time, that's why I mentioned it. For something that should be that routine, not easy, but routine. But anyway, they couldn't get the blood clots out of my leg in time enough to save my 3 toes. So I had to have 3 toes amputated on that left foot. But all praises to the Most High. But I told that part of my testimony because I was able to receive disability at that time. However, they saw fit to cut the disability off, which I say all praise to the Most High, because I don't want to depend on nobody's government as my source. This is how I see it now, put it that way. But then I got up and went on back to work. I said, okay, I can't go and do the physical type work I was doing before. So we went and applied for Allstate and got a job with them. Because I've always been quite intelligent and could pretty much do anything that's shown to me once. I used to work for Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I did work, that kind of work where I had to sit at the desk, which I really don't like, but you know, what can you do when you got 3 toes cut off? But all praises to the Most High. I was on that job for like a year, and then I started having pain in my arm and in my elbow, my arm, and my hand. And I was just thinking it was from working hard, but it was carpal and cubical tunnel in my elbow, in my forearm, and in my hand. So they wanted to do an operation, and the company wanted to deny that I suffered that injury on that job. Allstate, one of the biggest companies in the world, denied me disability and didn't want to pay for the surgery. However, all praises to the Most High, I was able to go online and find some exercises that help other people suffering with the same injuries and pain. So that's why you would see me doing my squats and my stretches. I would always move my hands because it's pushing blood to those areas, to those injured areas. And what that is doing is making it do what it's supposed to do by keeping the circulation going. It's hard for me to try to explain it, but it worked. The Most High healed my arm and elbow. So now I'm out of the best job I ever had financially, and it was it was alright. I like helping people, period, but during that short time on that job, I had become the team's spiritual ambassador and the team's physical fitness ambassador, which I was getting up and during my breaks I would get up and walk, because I knew I took a class through the company about physical fitness, and basically I took that info and started implementing it into my life, getting up and taking walks during my break, and light exercises at my desk, and eating differently, especially working overnight at the midnight shift. But I say all of that because, like I said, I was out of a great job, but my responsibilities didn't stop. And like I said, they didn't want to pay for the disability, or did they want to take responsibility of me injuring myself on that job, so I couldn't get workman's comp. So once again, I found myself having to totally depend on the Most High, and that's where I have been the last year. And we thank the Most High. My wife has had a great job herself, but we didn't depend on me not being able to bring in the income I was bringing in. But like I said, I say that because it taught me that I have to totally depend on the Most High. Like I said a few weeks ago, He's teaching me how to be uncomfortable. And what that means is He's teaching me not to depend on robbing. And oh boy, that's a bad feeling. Because I was raised that as a man, you're supposed to be independent and strong and supply your own needs. And then therefore supply the needs of your family, your wife, your children. But I said that because right along this time, well, before this, I was doing recordings per my speech therapist. My speech therapist recommended that I would do recordings and go back and watch them and see the words that I was having problems with and work on them words to try to pronunciate them correctly. But by doing this, I was starting to give a word for the day, really a script for the day, and have a couple of words on top of that. Just exactly what we're doing now, but it was really the beginning of it. So I was continuing that and on my job. What I was doing was doing the same thing without beating them in the head with the scripts. I was giving them the positive word, the Most High's word, without beating them in the head with God, Jesus, and the scripts, by His leading. So much to the point, like I said, they made up a position for me, made up a role, calling me the spiritual ambassador. And because I was getting up and doing my exercise and started motivating people around me to get up and go take walks during our breaks, they said, okay, we want to make you our physical fitness ambassador also. And see, this is what I was already doing on my walks during the day, just by getting up and walking to save my own life, to keep from getting too overweight. The Most High turned that into a ministry, to where He said, okay, start sharing it on YouTube. So by the time I got to Allstate, I was already doing this. And then we started taking ventures out to the parks. And we started doing what I call at Allstate, walking the park. And we was walking different parks in the city. We came here one time at the Hornet's Nest. Then we went to Freedom Park one time. But all praises to the Most High. I say that because of humble beginnings. See, he had me go and say all of that to come back to this script he just gave me the other day. He said, Robert, don't be ashamed of humble beginnings. Don't do it. I said, okay, Pop, I won't. I'm all on you. I'm with you anyway. just as I said the other day, as long as I do what he tell me to do, he gonna take care of me. So I'm not concerned about that. Especially after this year I've had where he's proven himself. And I say this year, but over the course of our marriage, 22 years, the Most High has shown himself faithful. And really my entire life, but bringing it back here to the present, the Most High has been faithful and is faithful. So I guess that's what I'm saying as far as my word of encouragement for today. If you let this mind be in you that was in Yahushua HaMashiach, that was in Paul, that was in Joshua, which let's back up, and I'm gonna sum it up real quick. The story goes on that those kings came against Joshua. Well, they did come against Joshua, but they came against Gibeon, the city of Gibeon. Like I said, those were the men that was faking the funk like they was coming from a long way off, just so they would be spared, so they can get into covenant with the house of Israel. So because they made covenant with them before they inquired of the Most High, they had to honor that covenant. That's the word. And what that means is, if somebody attack you, they attacking me. So that's why I say they attacked Joshua when they attacked Gibeon. So when Joshua and them boys got here, it says all the men of valor when Joshua got here, that him and all the men of valor, men of war, went up to Gibeon. And they started whooping tail. They started slaughtering them. But it was right around this time it is now here in Charlotte, right in the evening time where the sun is about to go down. So Joshua got up and got bold, and see what got him bold was, see, the Ruach HaKodesh back in them days, they didn't infill the men of valor, the men that came upon them, as the text would say. And see, I think it's backwards these days. He's in us, but we don't see a whole lot of his coming upon us. How do we say that? We don't see the evidence of him coming upon us, and we walking out great works. And to be quite honest, we haven't been put in situations where we would need to yet. Pardon me. Notice I said yet. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But the story goes on that they routed them, and Joshua spoke out. Joshua said, sun, stand still over Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon. So what happened? So the sun stood still and the moon stopped, till the people had revenge upon their enemies. And when I read this, the Most High reminded me of my father today, of my earthly father. And he was reminding me, he was like, Robert, you know how your pop would do anything for you? And if he could, he would move heaven and earth for you. I said, yes, sir, Pop. You're right. You're right, Father. Abba, you're right. And I started feeling a bit emotional because I was like, you're right. And to be even more transparent, my father helped me get some tools that I need to get back to work. Because after I had that stroke, I'm like, I'm done, son. I was saying, I'm done with that physical labor. But little did I know, the Most High had other plans. But anyway, he would use that example of my father helping me just about a week ago. And he was like, you see how he will move heaven and earth to get to help you? I said, yes, sir. He was like, I am the same, but I will move heaven and earth for you. Look at Joshua. That's me moving heaven and earth for him. And I'm no respected person. If I did it for him, I'd do it for you. And like I said, the story went on. He spoke that not out of just to have the sun stand still to work a great feat upon the earth. No. He did that because he needed that sunlight to finish the war. He needed that sunlight so he can finish routing them enemies of his. But I want us to remember that today. And it's out of simple obedience. Like I said before, if we would just be obedient and do what he asks us to do, like he asked Yahusha, like he asked Paul, like he asked all the other men of the text, even if it's unto death, you have to say, okay, Father, I know you got me. However you say, whichever way you say. And to bring it back around to our thought earlier, this is a privilege to be able to serve the Most High. It's a privilege to be able to hear his voice, steady calling me in the mornings, waking me up, saying, let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. This is on the agenda today. Or reminding me of a script. Just like when we was on that call last evening, the Most High kept reminding me of the exact script we needed during the time of that call. But it all comes at a cost. You say, Robert, you always bringing us back around to it costing us something. Yep, it is. It always does. It costs you sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice I gotta make now, Robert? Do I gotta give some money? Nobody asks nothing about your money. It's your time that he wants. Just like we were speaking on before, we want to reach our hands out, take what he has without looking at his face, without looking at him in the eye, without seeking his face. We want to just take from his hand, turn and go. We want to be like a running back. Hallelujah. Oh boy, a running back, get it? Keep running. You can't keep running in and out of my life. You can't keep running in and out of my life. See, that's what the Most High is saying. Stop running. You want the help. He's letting you know I am the source. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the light. But we just want the handoff. See, we want him to be our quarterback, just to hand the ball off to us. See, now them boys are trained to watch the hand. They're trained to watch the quarterback's hand. In that case, you must watch his hand so it can be a smooth delivery of the ball from his hand to yours. So you can get it and go, get it and go, get it and go. But not so in the relationship that the Most High wants of us. He wants us to give that eye contact. He wants you to see not only the hand, but the eyes. See not only the hand, but the face. See, he wants you to see that emotion in his eyes and on his face when he's supplying your needs. He wants you to see the love and the care in his eyes when he asks you to do something, knowing that it's for your benefit. But we're like, why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do that? Like we spoke on a few weeks ago, stop complaining. If the Most High asks you to do something, it's for your benefit. But yeah, this text here is a very powerful one this week. And I do hate I wasn't able to get out yesterday. I had a job yesterday. And then we had this call, which what we're doing on Tuesdays at 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We're in Hebrew Connect, the North Carolina group. We're having a group call, a meet and greet and prayer on Tuesdays at 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So find me on Hebrew Connect. On Hebrew Connect, I'm under the title of Good in the Hood. That's the title I'm on HebrewConnect.com. So find us on HebrewConnect.com. If you're in the Carolinas, North or South Carolina, go and join the group and get active and involved meeting and greeting your Hebrew brothers and sisters. But as always, all praise to the Most High. And the key to our success is, as he told Joshua, don't come up off that word. Don't do it. Just like my wife and myself, we was taking classes to be what you call that? To adopt orphans. We went through the adoption process by taking the class. And the teacher, she would always say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't you do it, don't do it. And you might ask, well, what's she talking about, don't do it? Don't touch them kids. No matter what, don't touch them kids. Don't do it. So we have to remember that in our minds. Don't back up off that text. Don't back up off the Most High's word for nothing. Set up a time. Look at him. I don't know if that's that same spider, but that joker done grew triple in size. Now he's jumping up on my camera, on my tripod. But yeah, don't do it. Don't get out of that word. Don't get away from that word. And see, I will never forget that lady saying that, because it got down like I was saying earlier, it's like she was speaking through us. She said that at least 5 times per class, because that was her main subject matter. Don't beat them kids. Don't touch them. Period. Don't touch them. No matter what. Don't touch them. But I'm going to say this as my final thought for today. Let this mind be in you. Think like this. Let this mind be in you. Think like this. Let this mind be in you. Think like this. Pardon me. And I don't know when I'm gonna get back on the bike and record. Like I was telling my wife earlier, I plan to get out here tomorrow, but today I had to take a break off of my foot just to let it rest. But all praises to the Most High. We're not hanging up our bike. It's just like this world, we gotta keep moving. But let this mind be in you that was in Yahushua HaMashiach. Think like this. And the thinking like this is saying to yourself, I'm gonna do whatever he tells me to do. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if I don't know where the next money is coming from, it don't matter. He's my source. And remember this too, coming from me, this is a personal pointer or personal key to your success. Remember that the Most High will allow the storm and the fire. See, a lot of times it's no concern of his. Well, I should say he already know what he put in you that's gonna be brought out. But he needs to bring it out for your sake. He needs you to see yourself walking it out. Just like Joshua, he told him, you're strong. You're full of courage. Every time he said be strong and full of courage, he was basically saying, you are strong. You are full of courage. Just like he went on to say, no man will ever be able to stand in front of you. So when you have that type mentality, you're gonna do what you need to do. You're gonna fight the war. You're gonna fight the battle and be successful. But every now and again, you're gonna need the Most High to move heaven and earth for you so you can do what he asked you to do. See, he knew in the back of his mind, if it gets dark on us, some of these jokers might escape. And the Most High done told me to kill them all. That none of them are gonna be able to stand before us. But if the sun goes down, some of them may escape and come back and try to fight us another day. But no, we're gonna get rid of them all today. Not even let the sun go down on them. And see, that's how it is with us. And see, we always have to be willing to get the help. We're always gonna need help. It's not gonna ever be a time in the Most High's kingdom that you're gonna fly solo dolo. Uh-oh. See, he don't need none of them independent contractors. Oh boy. He can't use them. So you gotta be a company man. Oh boy. And see, now it's the exact opposite in the world today. You don't want to be a part of a company, you want to be an independent contractor. So you can make all the right moves for yourself, for your own body. You have your own choice. For your family. Just like if you need to up and move, you can up and move to where it's more positive for you and your household. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, let this mind be in you. Think like him. Sing that song that I say, that hook. No matter what's going on, it's gonna be okay. No matter what's going on, say it's gonna be okay. I'm waiting for the rest of that hook to come back to me so I can sing it out. Because it's such a strong message to me. It has been over the years. I've been singing that hook more than likely for about 25, 30 years.
but can't think of the second part of the hook. And like I said in the prior recording, it's because that's the only part that I need right now. And if I heard the other part, I would try to put something on it. Probably try to introduce it to the world. And he was like, no, it's just for you and those you share with now. Because it's just that important, no matter what's going on. No matter what's going on. See, I can testify to this. No matter what's going on, I don't care if you can't walk, you can't talk. See, I was at a point for almost 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. All I can say was and And my wife would pure T get mad at me now if I say or She say, Robert, talk to me. Don't be saying that. Because she remember when I was in that hospital and I couldn't speak. She was remember when I was in that hospital slobbering over myself and saying, But see, we have to remember, no matter what's going on, even if you're in a hospital with tubes hanging out your mouth, you wake up, you just had a major stroke, tubes hanging out your mouth, your chest feeling like somebody is sitting on you, and a pillow sitting on you, your hands crossed holding the pillow, and you look up under the pillow at your chest and you see staples in your chest, and you waking up looking and you see your wife sitting over there saying, baby, it's okay, you had a stroke, you also had a brain surgery or brain procedure, you also had a open heart surgery. They had to replace a defective heart valve. See, when you wake up to this, for a split second, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? That fear began to well up in me. But in that other hot second, he was like, what did I tell you? I'm here. I told you I'd never leave you or forsake you. I told you this was gonna happen. Relax. You're okay. Just do what I tell you to do. From here on out, just do what I tell you to do. And see, this is the path that I've been on ever since that day. And like I said, this is why I can testify to that fact, that no matter what's going on, if you'll continue to do what he tell you to do, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. See, if you weren't, then basically you would have the right to call him a lie. And in that text, he said he's not a man that he should lie. And nor is his word going to come back to him void. When he puts something out there, he going to get it back. Just like he told Joshua, haven't I not told you that you're strong and courageous, very courageous? And see, that's what he tells me. I told you I'd never leave you or forsake you. I'm always here for you. I'm always going to make a way for you. You're my son. Like he told me last week, I'll move heaven and earth for you. And he's been doing it. And he's not finished. Just like he said, he's going to pick us up off the dung heap, off the boo-boo pile, and sit us with the princesses. We're going to be rubbing shoulders with the princesses of his people, our brothers and sisters. And I thank the Most High for that. Not that I'm trying to be seated in a high place, but to know that there's a reward for doing what's right. It's a reward to be counted with men of valor, with women of valor, those that love the Most High, and to be recognized as that. It's an honor. Just as our prior thought was today, don't nobody owe you nothing. But you get back what you earn. What you put in, you get out. What you reap, you sow. I'm trying to get up, I promise you I am, but I have to go with the flow of the Most High's Ruach HaKodesh. I dare not close my mouth to him when he's trying to speak. But we're gonna leave on this note. No matter what's going on, trust him. I'm gonna say this, just like a nurse told me. She was one of the nurses that came out to my house when I left rehab. She was like, Robert, if he brought you to it, he'll get you through it. I'm like, oh boy. I was like, say what? Like that old commercial about what's that mess called? One of them diseases they trying to get folks to take another vaccine for older folks, where you have a big rash on your side. But in the commercial they say what? That's how I was acting when that guy said that. She said, Robert, if he brought you to it, he'll get you through it. So I'm gonna pass on that word of encouragement today. If the Most High allowed it, he's gonna get you through it. Notice I didn't say around it or over it. See, I had to go through that process of healing. I had to go through the process of recovering after a major stroke. There wasn't no way around that. I had to go through that process. But he told me from the giddy up, I'm with you. I never leave you or forsake you. And no matter what's going on, it's gonna be okay. I'm right here with you. I never leave you or forsake you. And he has been. I like the way she said it. If he brought you to it, he'll get you through it. We love y'all. As always, stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.
Yeah, and family, I felt the need to come back and say that on this group meeting at 6:30 to 8 on Tuesday afternoons Eastern time, that just come as you are. If you have questions, we will answer them. And also, if I don't have the answer, we can ask my Moray who told me. If you ever have any questions of me, just ask me and we'll answer it. And if we don't have the answer, we will get the answer. So like I said, I felt the need to come back and say that because you are welcome. Because coming into this awakening, none of us came into it overnight with all the answers. And I know I didn't and still don't have all the answers. But what I do have is an obedient heart and an attentive ear. And also keen eyesight. And what I mean by all of that is I have the eyes to see, and it is a gift. I have the ears to hear, and that's a gift. I have the heart to perceive. That's definitely a gift. And therefore I have the mouth to speak, which is a gift. So as I said, come as you are, as we used to say in the church. Don't feel intimidated. Matter of fact, it's for you. The group is for you. It's for all of us. What the text says, come all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. God love y'all. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.